This is another short story collaboration written and narrated by my sister from across the seas, Sabpoet, playing the character Lilium Ground, and I myself, the poet B.GKL, playing the character Mr. Gordy Givens. Before we embrace our journey, this is a story about a woman named Lilium Ground. Meaning of Lilium is devotion or purity, in which she suffers from the thought of ever facing her death and depression. She always sits by the water and talks about her fears and life towards the sounds of soft but strong waters of the Caribbean Bay, just to calm her anxiety or ever losing her own life. Until one day, the wind got too strong as she stood up and stumbled down a sandhill into the ocean, to only wake up inside a black boat with a loud motor and a brown-bearded black mysterious man with gold and gray eyes, deeply asking, "Are you okay? Don't be afraid, miss. My name is Gordy Givens." Let the story begin. Lilium Ground, wake up. Wake up, Miss Ground. Don't allow good old death to take you out so easily, because I always admire a challenge from those with purity for life. Fight to breathe before I have regrets for even saving you from the water's drift while listening to the screams of your bubbles fighting to keep me away by name. Exchange some sort of sound to let me know you're okay.
My head. It feels like I spiraled into Death's Alley. But if only he were ready today, you would have been saved the trouble of catching this big old fish, Mr. Gordy. It would seem like heaven had other plans for today.
Convey no confusion, Miss Lilium. I feel that you may assume I am out here to hook food from this endless sea. I must disagree with that notion, but I tilt my cap to such a wonderful sense of humor that I will soon get more acquainted. But fainted with a rough stumble down the sandhill is what I need you to remember, or can you even gather the thoughts in your condition? If not, then listen and ask yourself, how did I quote your entire name, and how did you recite a fisherman's name in which you were never granted? But there's an idea planted in your eye reflection of who or why this moment may be your worst or greatest task. Ask anything you like of me, but drink that bottle of water and grab one of those plantains. Try to awake your bones from that spot, Lilium.
A clever man you are, yet darkness gleams in your eyes. The only thing I can remember is the roar of the waves and the whistle of the breeze beneath my feet as I stood on the sandhill. You are no stranger. I have heard the tales about the greatest fisherman in the bay. Master of the seas, isn't that what they say about you? Where are you taking me, Mr. Gordy? Release me this minute. You know exactly who I am. You have spent days watching my every visit to the sandhills. The name Lilium is of great importance to you. Why is that, Mr. Givens?
I concur, natural woman of the sea. But the importance of you and your name shall make sense in moments. I promise you that. But be aware of your surroundings in which you are now in my natural habitat, the Caribbean waters of treasures and coffins. So, upon this ride, I see you as no victim or a hostage here. Take no fear, but speak your curiosity of what the island people assume or make rumors about the ruler of the ocean with a vessel among many common boats. Try to ignore what is fabricated and understand the current task you are about to thread and sew into your present choices. There is no releasing what is already free. So, agree to jump ship now with sharks and misery, or take responsibility for what you have whispered every day across this body of water. The falter in your confidence is irritating, Lilium. Please make your decision before it is made for you, because we have a lot to discuss. You must be uncomfortable with the gold and gray in my eyes, which is piercing with impatience and beautiful darkness. The sandhill is far gone from where you wish to be. Speak now.
Are the stories of the many lives you have saved in the depths of the ocean untrue? From what I hear, you are adorned in riches, silver and gold. A pirate, I would say, because of the many souls you have helped to find their way back home. This is not the way to treat your precious gem, Mr. Givens. Imagine the wages you will be paid when I am returned. Yes, I have waited patiently, wondering what and how I would feel when we cross paths. And to think you want me to jump into the feast of sharks? Oh no, Mr. Givens. I am staying right here on this vessel until the quest is done.
Crumbs falling to its lowest point from being once a part of something tastefully whole is how I see lives that cross my wake. So, concentrate on my words, woman. I desire no fortune in mankind, nor do I maintain a pirate's legacy towards mythical travels or a box of greed. Miss Lilium, never believe all of what you hear, because silver and gold will only get you to the other side of darkness without a road trip. Forget all of what you have heard about me and prepare yourself for the most violent storm that will make you soon miss the gem that you could have became. I am ashamed that you would have fear for sharks more than me, because where there is life, there is always going to be death. So, a quest you shall have, along with your anxiety, fueling my hate for the weaker side of you. Do you accept to prove me wrong, or are you still afraid to put your life on the line? No more crying in that casket you call home. Wrong time to drown in the ocean today and be saved by Mr. Givens. But I hope cigar smoke and 100 feet waves don't scare you.
So what is the value of my life in the dark veil of your boundaries, Mr. Givens? I take no pride in the trials of this world. My life is to be preserved. Surely you do not expect that I would relinquish this breath from my lungs without putting you to the test, just to see if time will surpass the waves of this mighty sea. Where there is life, there is hope. That's a given. That is something you should know very well. I am not dead as yet. After all, you have held fates in your cruel hands, marked by the many cigars that reek in the air of this vessel. It is no doubt you have played this game before, but I assure you, Gordy Givens, I am not handing over my life in the middle of the sea to a man that I do not deem worthy. So let me sit and inhale what poisons your soul over these 100 feet waves. I am sure you are yet to meet your demise. I guess the clock has not wind down to your hour. Let's continue to sail into darkness. Now tell me, what questions do you have for me?
The only inch of worth you have to me is nothing more than a small scale of a soul, of breath, while the walls of life and myself are holding the keys of boundless extremity. I am the amenity of your present disaster and depressive discontinuance. I hold no desire to care for your mason jar of preserved aliveness and anxieties. Society has tainted your logic, Lilium. You seem to think you have control, and you can barely stand. And you dare to speak of testing what is only giving you moments to feel alive. Deprive me of your humane approach to uttering the word time. I am the only hope of presence you have towards ever being given a chance to see life on land again. The sun is already going down, and you hold no pulse yet. Regrets is what I truly smell behind your laughter, and so is the worrying that's brewing in you. True indeed, I hold a beautiful stench of smoke and ashes, right along the new fate of your soul while not noticing your surroundings, Lilium Ground. Profound assumption, but remember my patterns. It's the only plot across the sea of the world. I am inhumane to the weak chivalry of humanity. Your insanity must still be provoked by the salt water on your breath. Your life is not yours to give. You still have not truly recognized who I am. Damn it, woman. Open your eyes and respect the entity before you. I meet no demise. I am the one that pulls the final destination for all as the time comes to roost. Misuse of your words has already led you to drown. So darkness is just a mere phase for you, and there is nothing to ask you, Lilium, but yet only command you to choose. Move from that spot and notice we are hours from a place that you may not make it from.
So I should be grateful to you for saving my life, only to seal my fate? Oh, Gordy, my life is mine. I have so many things to do. Do your eyes not see the purpose within me? I believe you would agree that my destination is not final. But what do you do, Mr. Gibbons? Have you ever lived? For the many times you have watched me from the shore, listening to my whispers in the wind, I couldn't deny but I almost did not believe it was you. I know you are a lifeless entity. You have always been snatching, preying on the weak. You appear in a sudden instance. But we both know you roam the oceans freely. You are the one who is always there to save without second chances. Yet now you speak about choice? Mr. Gibbons, when was it ever a choice? For all my years, I've heard the songs of many pleas, and I've never heard any tales of your beautiful voice. Is it that you do not hear? I bet you have just sailed the oceans of the world, patiently waiting on time to deliver a new soul falling at your feet, defeated. As you can see, I have no white flags to wave today.
You dare play with my patience, girl. You would never surrender a single flag of human cloth and insult me as an army of remorseful swords. Hordes of spirits wait while the earth sits at ease, forcing me to claim the trash from carcasses once the body is useless and rotting in worms. Concerns of my walk is too great a ratio for your insecure mind to even hold a focused balance of my measured moves to see all destinies and crying supplication. Now feel my aspiration while I dangle your damp body over the choppy ocean to show you what choice you could ever hold. Murky seawater of treasure, bodies, and gold. Now look in my screeching eyes and feel the fear you have always had since a child, to not be able to live forever. Never assume my power is lifeless. Feel the thunder striking your astral body. Embrace the fact I do not see you as weak but confused and indecisive. A world of crisis engraved in your heart, snatching your choice has given you death, but a near-life vacation to the ship and shore of my decisions. Just listen to the depths of the ocean, screaming for your soul to completely dip again, with fear fading from your fearful lungs and clumsy legs. Dread my anger and know that your fate, purpose, and destination is like the knots in my brown beard, so twisted, but occasionally picked to form. I scorn your fright, but look further to your right, while your body hovers. We are close to my island of concerns. Being grateful won't save you, Lilium. Only logical answers maybe. Hate me and hang from my fisted hold attached to your bald shirt, or continue forth to shore and see what is given.
No! Get out of my head. Get away from me. You seem to take my life for a game. Why would I give the ocean another chance to roam freely over me? It would seem all these years in your domain has rendered you deaf to the cries of souls. My life is at its peak, so please bring me ashore. Show me what is the given. I am way past your first hold in the depths of your great seas. I will not hang my soul, leaving my bare carcass to rot in your presence. Mr. Gibbons, I may be frightened, but my fight is not over.
Such a wounded soldier you seem to puppeteer, through mustering subtle toughness from between your chattering fragile teeth. I see beneath your short intentions of gaining strength to face my being, just to soon decompose with insects coating your torso among the wonder of my watch. Tick, tock, Miss Lilium. The present has always consumed a hold on you, being that my clutch has cradled your future to decide your depressive past. So at last, read my eyes of gold and gray stories from many naive and recognize while babbling your fight. Your feet has been standing upon my gritty shore for hours now. Become one and plow the roots of your path in a garden realm of my island's order of business to balance the weight of your lifespan. Fisherman of the sea, harvester of what shall or cannot breathe, embrace the scale of your distaste for an entity that holds the outer and between. The true machine for all souls that walk away or be discarded in karma. Being in your head is for a therapist, woman. I am the truest shadow for all things, with or without a pulse. Golf is a game, but where you are is a place of contest for living or dying. It's not about losing or winning, but seeking your consequence. Just listen to the immense tears of painful laughter through my island of choice. Only the choice of Gordy Givens, Miss Ground.
Your eyes scream with cries of the souls you have caught. I can see why this land is your home. It reeks of your stench. You are quite the opposite of prosperous life, Mr. Givens, tasteless like the air that hovers over this wretched land. Come this minute, lead me to the consequence, so I may extend my lifespan and be on my way to the land of the living. In this place I cannot dwell. I refuse to believe this crossover, being hooked like a fish and now to be tossed in your aquarium of an abyss. Ha! Leaving my soul to sway across the ocean breeze, helplessly. Let us tread into your realm on the path to the task at hand. Will it be the fisherman's conquest, or how the fisherman lost his conquest? Don't you see your dreadful eyes? The light that shines from within me, I can assure you I am not the one to lose.
Never abuse my calm approach with insults of blind screams and a hidden stench. For the squealing you might hear is just your desire to leave, but followed by the scent of your fright. A blind appetite is what I live for. Only enjoying the craving of unworthy words, you tend to creep from your tiny essence of pitiful encouragement and consequential efforts to survive. So, strive to not piss me off with where your life shall belong. You have drowned once and may soon bubble again if you do not honor this painful walk with respect. So let me take you to your first endeavor. When I snap my finger, you shall stand upon a cliff with all things you assume deadly beneath it. Pit of animals, wait for your petrified leap to reach your task. Begin to jump or climb down to one of your destinies that must be approached with a dreadful chance. Enhance your ears and listen for the young girl crying hundreds of feet below for someone to save her from whatever it may be down there. Spare me the lingering and make a decision, or are you afraid to save someone other than yourself, Lilium?
Whoa, this is high. My end seems to be staring down at me. Mr. Givens, what is the meaning of this? Mr. Gordy, reveal yourself this instant. I take it as my time to exit this realm. Ah, my ears. I must find where this painful scream is coming from. Damn you, Gordy Givens. Looking into the darkness beneath the cliff, the cool air became one with my breath. The further I followed, the scream got closer and louder, and then finally it stopped. My breath bubbled in my throat when I realized the face that matched the scream. No, not Sally. Young precious Sally Jean. Mr. Givens, what tricks do you play on me?
I see that the ignorance of your human assumptions has blinded your sight with such fatal in denial, in which you are unable to recognize what you thought to save. You seem to deprive your way, Lilium. That young girl is not Sally Jean. Look again. Thus, it is the living illusion of you, your tortured inner self, wounded and awaiting a mythical retrieval. What a feeble internal youth you have, Miss Ground. But yet you betray to be so disobedient and wrathful towards what I am trying to reveal to you. Not at all clever. Your second endeavor is now. You have already climbed down the crown of your mental cliff and ego. Now approach your younger broken self and remaster the root and face your trial. Remember, the style of playing tricks are for idiot clowns in makeup and a mask. I am here neither to laugh, lead, nor guide. I am just the obscurity along the way. Today you will overstand yourself before you were who Lilium has become today. Face your inner child or abandon this task as something you feel are simple tricks. This is your only choice to accept your gamble for life.
There is no way that can be me. No. Have I become so bewildered that I don't even recognize my own cries? I thought my life was good. I thought I was living it the best. Has this been your plan all along, Mr. Gibbons? To show me how I wasted my life worrying about the end, torturing me with all my wounds and fears? Do you dare to judge me, Gordy Gibbons? A man like you should be pleased to be graced with my time. And now you want me to save myself from the pits of your fury, which turns out to be the parts of me that I do not wish to share with anyone. My younger self has only known pain and grief, but somehow I seem to overcome. But the effects of the trauma we both know well, depression. I have seen my end many times in the past, but I refuse to give my life over to darkness. So now here you are placing me on trial, wanting me to testify about pieces of my life that has been the best and worst moments. Trials are the things that builds me, Gordy Gibbons. I am innocent. Set me free.
A banshee you are not. So please don't commence wasting my time by warning me of your impending death or life without you even knowing so. Bestow respect upon my island of unrevealed tests that challenges the soul of self-judgment, which stands beneath your craving of freedom and mirage of innocence. The benefit of my court proceedings here are non-existent for someone that doesn't recollect that the soul is the only present judgment for any change in a single spiritual mind. Mankind drowns in its wickedness, so spare me your details of darkness. At some point, you have closed or blinked your eyes while embracing a subtle pitch black of comfort. Consort with your inner child and solve the puzzle of damage drilled in the scar of your callous feet, and arson burns to the property of your back flesh. Digest your continuous interrogation of questions and start creating answers for the wounded girl kneeling in wet sand, just crying under the island rays of 3 bleeding moons. A cocoon of ignorance you are. Your presence is only an inconvenience and graced by your entitlement, Lilium ground. Do you not remember that you drowned and perished in the ocean, gracefully falling about, trapped in my solid gold net of crabs and sea rocks? Stop believing I am causing you such agony, child. I am the only balanced scale of demise or chance. You seem afraid of your mental cures to fix yourself. Help the suffering child you have buried deep under the memories of a house fire that burned your young body. Free her from the creepy cold hands of memories of your uncle babysitting your pureness at night with his grime. Climb up this hill with your childhood in your grips, forgetting the fears of death and life, and just love to breathe. Feel the power of my voice and understand this purpose. Regain the purchase of your time, woman. This second endeavor is near its passing. What is your cure of action?
Look at me. I was an innocent child, so pure. Those nights took pieces of my soul. Look at my young gleaming eyes, so lost and filled with fury and hate. Carrying such a burden for so many years. Blaming myself. How do I heal this wound? Watching my younger self. I know it has infested my entire life. I gave up and I allowed darkness to take over. All the abuse and shame. It consumed me, Gordy Gibbons. Is this my purpose before death? To set myself free? To forgive the ones who caused my mind to be this way? How do I turn back time to let my younger self be healed and free? How? Huh? I was just a teenage girl trying to have a happy life. Was it never meant to be so? All I seem to be is a wrinkle in the fabric of what my life could have been. The years of my constant doom mask in my head as fighting to live. I need to fight harder to live for me, the girl with the hopes and dreams. Instead, all I did was wallow in pain and anger, denying myself the freedom I needed, the freedom that came from me. Me. I was my savior and I failed. I failed. My delicate soft skin burning that day. The fire burnt who I was and who I wanted to be. The sea that washes over me now has drenched my pain. My burdens have drifted. It is time to let the past be, Mr. Givens. And I realize that now. I have chosen to let go. No more will I cry the victim. I have set myself free of my pain and shame and hate. Time has passed, which cannot be regained, but life is just above the cliff. I want to climb back to a renewed life, one that is more than just living.
Willing to feel that a renewed life will give you halt to the spillway of tears of a woman child that believes that her heart and core is so mangled that you hope that this sharp cliff above might restore what you request from within to become the out. No doubts of what I see here upon hearing your criticism of self and the claim of being free from emotions. You were never the victim, but far worse and unfree while enslaved to your mother's world of ignoring you, watching her value men while not seeing their hidden thirst. At first, I assumed that you would never open the forced but locked past in which it seems to come to you as a drift. But as you see here, your inner child cries for your attention, just to be safely carried away. With the constant replay of flames coming from your bedroom, with an outcry of a mistake made by your match striking, trying to burn filth from home to the ground, just to forget the violations from him and your mother's death ears towards the night crawler. Mauler of anger you tried to become, Lilium. It's impossible to burn through who you are. The skin is nothing to what your highest self beautifully decorates through you. To rescue yourself is timeless and undying against failure. The waves are not your freedom, but yet more of a reminder. Be kinder to yourself and recognize the walk behind you, to respect the travel that is happening now. Feel the storms on this island. A violent storm can be very tyrannical. Despite the damage that it may leave behind, just remember to rebuild. Deal with the currents of the sea by becoming stronger and understanding that it may drown. Hide, be beautiful and feed, but forgiving it for the nature of what it has become or just is not the answer for how you should approach it. Revenge or justice is yours to make. Intake the thought of breathing. Pick up the child and climb this cliff until you both see the island's top. I await at the peak. Maybe it's peace of mind for you or more endeavors to endure. Make sure on the way up to remember that a new life would never give you tranquility. You have to master what is already given and change what is now from then. Hope to see you both at the top. You are in your own hands of becoming what you should be.
How did I get down this hill? It is steep, so wet and sandy. The sun is setting. I better head home. Loud cries are heard. Lilium walks over to find herself lifeless on the sand above the cliff. Her daughter mourns as the coroner moves to examine the carcass which shed her soul. She steps back in disbelief only to find Gordy Givens with his hands outstretched. This is really my end? Dying on a bench watching the only thing that made me my best? The beautiful roaring waves of the Dominican Bay. I am ready to go, Gordy Givens. I have forgiven my past and my soul is free. Come, take me away now from the land of the living.
Forgiving your past is not always yours to unburden, but to maintain the integrity with yourself. Knowing that you were broken and trying to patch your soul together with isolation. The agitation in your past tense has long been relieved from your destiny. Once you decided to climb back up, while ignoring all irrational motives you have collected upon this rescue. Renew your sadness and become strong by what possible timeline that could have been. Look into my eyes of gold and gray brass and hold my hands, Lilium. I, Gordy Givens, now command you to inhale the death and exhale with life and get off my ocean, girl. Take this pearl of infinite sea breezes with you. I place this precious stone of innocence back in your heart. I strengthen the child within you and purify the woman today that stands around it. Now quit crying by my waters while sleeping awake and smile in the breeze. For now on, wake up, Lilium. You're smothering in the sand. For now, goodbye, Mrs. Ground.
Feeling droplets of water on her face. Am I awake? Lilium, can you feel the rain on your skin? I cannot believe I fell asleep. It's as though I've been to the other side. That was a dream? I feel like I have been lifted higher. I feel renewed and happy. Did an afternoon nap really do that? This is really my favorite place to relax. But I must be on my way home. The rain is falling hard. See you tomorrow, Dusty Bench. I will be back to watch the sunset and listen to the roaring waves of this beautiful bay.
The title of this collaboration, Lilium's Encounter with Mr. Givens, narrated and written by Sabpoet as Lilium Ground and the poet B.GKL, Brother GKL, that is Gold King Life, as Mr. Gordy Givens. Commentary by Sabpoet.
Hey, I am Stephanie Aline Brown, SAB poet. It was truly an honor to work on this project, this beautiful story with the poet Brother GKL. His voice is so powerful. I'm so honored to work with him. I love his poetry and I know he loves my writing as well. And that has caused this collaboration. I hope that this brought a clear view to persons who are living their lives but are not really living and waiting on the end. Only to find out that the end is not really the end. Live your life now. Live now. Live in the present. Be the best that you can be. Live now. Shine your light. Share your soul now. Share who you are now. And that is what we are doing. We are living now and we are sharing our poetry now. We are sharing our thoughts, our hopes, and our dreams now. I hope this story brings joy to you as you listen.
Commentary by the poet B.GKL. I want to thank you all for tuning in. This is another in-depth story that had a lot of meaning behind it other than just entertainment and the story coming to life. I appreciate Sabpoet for just accepting this plot to make this come to life the way that it did. What we were trying to do was bring a story together where a young lady fights with just worrying about the wrong things in life and dealing with things that may have happened or have happened to her without anybody there to rescue her. With that being said, just because you grow up to be an adult doesn't mean that you don't deal with past things that had happened to you. In the story, Lilium is burned because she tried to burn up her house to wash away the filth in her mind, trying to heal from, being touched or molested and different things like that. And growing up every day, she just went to the water to get some freedom. And Sabpoet brought that to life. Sometimes you gotta go inside your mind to find your hero. Your greatest healer is self. You can heal by yourself without anything. You just gotta be willing to do it and have the right people around you. But see, Lilium Ground, she didn't have anybody really around her. It was basically kind of just her, isolated. And she decided to take a trip to the water like she always does, and she took a spiritual trip. Everybody's spiritual trip is different no matter what you believe in. She thinks it just was probably a dream, but it wasn't. You never know what can heal you. So to have an in-depth imagination, it can fix you sometimes. It can make you stronger from what happened to you. And like I said, I would do a million more stories with Sabpoet because our energy was so good. That's family from across the sea. That's my sister, man, and I appreciate her for bringing it in. So if y'all want to check my sister out, Sabpoet, you know what I mean, Instagram or whatever, I have everything in the link. So peace and love. And for those that's out there healing, man, stay protected, man. Watch over your babies and different things like that. You can always heal. You can always survive. It's always a way to not really escape from it, but it's always a way to put it in perspective and find your healing. So I'm not speaking from a victim standpoint. I'm just speaking from what I heard. So one love, peace and love. This is the poet B.GKL, and I want y'all to know, man, I love you to life. Live it to the fullest. Don't worry about the small things. Try to heal as much as possible, even if it take you years to do it.